Hockey looks chaotic at first glance. Sticks clashing, bodies colliding, the puck zipping from end to end. But underneath the noise, the NHL runs on a tight rulebook that shapes every moment of the game. These rules aren't just technical details. They decide goals, control speed, and protect players from serious injury. From the blue line's invisible boundary to the trapezoid behind the net, each one has a purpose and a history. Some are centuries old in spirit, others are modern fixes to keep up with today's speed. Here's what each NHL rule actually means and why it matters. Part 1. The offside rule. The blue line isn't just paint on the ice. It's a gate. And like any gate, it has rules. In the NHL, you can't just storm into the attacking zone with the puck like you own the place. The puck has to cross first, then your skates can follow. If you're already across that line when the puck arrives, the play stops. It's called offside, and it's designed to keep the game from turning into a breakaway circus where players camp in front of the net all day. Over the years, technology has turned offside calls into just simple microscopic reviews. Since 2021, a player's skate no longer has to be touching the ice for it to count as onside. It just has to break the vertical plane of the blue line. Coaches can challenge close calls, but if they're wrong, their team gets a 2-minute penalty. Icing. Icing is one of those calls that makes new fans ask why the whistle blew when nothing obvious happened. It's when a player fires the puck from behind the center red line and it crosses the opposing goal line untouched. The point is to stop teams from relieving pressure by launching the puck all the way down the ice without giving the other side a fair chance to play it. Before 2013, icing was automatic the moment the puck crossed the line. Now, the NHL uses hybrid icing. Instead of a dangerous sprint to touch the puck first, the linesman decides by the face-off dots who would have reached it first. If the defending player is ahead, it's icing. If the attacking player is leading, play continues. High sticking. A hockey stick is for controlling the puck, not testing the durability of someone's helmet. High sticking happens when a player's stick makes contact with an opponent above shoulder level. If it's accidental and doesn't cause injury, it's a 2-minute penalty. Draw blood, and it becomes 4 minutes. Intent doesn't matter, safety does. There's also a puck handling version of the rule. If you knock the puck down with your stick above shoulder height, play stops unless the opposing team gains control. This keeps the game fair and avoids turning hockey into an air-swatting contest. Hooking. Hooking is when a player uses their stick to slow down or restrain an opponent, usually by wrapping it around their waist, arms, or stick. The NHL has cracked down on this over the past 2 decades to protect the speed of the game. In the slower, more physical era of the 90s, defenders could get away with small tugs and holds. Today, the second a stick acts like a leash, the referee's arm goes up. Tripping. Tripping takes away an opponent's legs or feet, usually with a stick, but sometimes with a skate or body. The result is a 2-minute penalty unless it stops a breakaway, in which case it can lead to a penalty shot. The most dangerous form is slew-footing, sweeping the legs from behind while shoving the player backward. That one draws more than just a penalty. It often brings fines or suspensions because of the high risk of head and neck injuries. Slashing. Slashing happens when a player swings their stick at an opponent, whether hitting their stick, gloves, or body. In recent years, even small, forceful taps have been called to protect players' hands. This change followed incidents where broken fingers and wrists took star players out of action. A quick stick lift to steal the puck is fine. A baseball-style chop is not. The NHL's goal here is to keep stick battles competitive without turning them into lumberjack contests. Boarding. Boarding is one of the most dangerous infractions in. It's called when a player checks an opponent into the boards in a way that's reckless or causes them to hit awkwardly. The boards don't move, so the impact can be brutal. If the hit is especially violent or the opponent is in a vulnerable position, the penalty can escalate to a major and game misconduct. Since 2020, the Department of Player Safety has put more emphasis on suspensions for dangerous boardings, especially when the victim's back is turned. Charging. Charging happens when a player takes more than 2 strides before delivering a body check, building extra speed for a bigger hit. The NHL allows big hits, but not ones that cross into reckless territory. Charging can also be called if a player leaves their feet to make contact, launching upward instead of skating through the hit. Interference. You can't hit someone who doesn't have the puck. That's interference. The rule keeps the game flowing by making sure players are targeted only when they're involved in the play. There's also a goalie interference version, where attacking players can't make illegal contact with the goaltender inside the crease. Since 2018, coaches can challenge goalie interference calls. If they're wrong, it's the same as a failed offside challenge, a 2-minute minor. Delay of game. Delay of game covers several actions. A goalie freezing the puck unnecessarily, a skater shooting the puck over the glass from their own defensive zone, or a team stalling during a face-off. The puck over glass penalty is one of the most disliked by players because intent doesn't matter. If it goes directly over without hitting the glass or boards, it's 2 minutes. This rule was tightened in 2005 to keep games moving and discourage defensive teams from buying rest time. Face-off violations. A face-off is supposed to be quick and clean. If a player cheats by moving early, encroaching into the circle, or using illegal stick positioning, they're tossed from the draw. A second violation by the same team during the same face-off leads to a minor penalty. The stricter enforcement came in 2017 to speed up puck drops and reduce gamesmanship. Helmet removal rule. Introduced in 2019, this rule requires players to leave the ice immediately if their helmet comes off during play, unless they put it back on and fasten it. The change was about concussion prevention after several incidents where players took accidental headshots without protection. Overtime rules. When regulation ends in a tie, the NHL turns the game into a sprint. Overtime in the regular season is 5 minutes of 3-on-3 hockey, sudden death. 1 goal ends it. This format, introduced in 2015, creates wide open ice and constant breakaways. If neither team scores in those 5 minutes, it moves to a shootout. 1 skater against the goalie, best of 3 rounds, then sudden death if still tied. In the playoffs, the rules shift completely. There's no shootout. Instead, teams play full 20-minute sudden death periods, 5-on-5, until someone scores. That can mean games stretching deep into the night, with tired players running on adrenaline and grit. The longest in modern history? 5 overtimes between Columbus and Tampa Bay in 2020. Shootout format. The shootout isn't about grinding in the corners or cycling the puck. It's pure skill against pure reflex. Each team selects 3 shooters to go one-on-one with the opposing goalie. The skater starts at center ice and has to keep the puck moving forward. No looping back, no endless stalling. If the score is still tied after 3 rounds, it goes to sudden death. 1 shooter at a time until someone gains an advantage. In recent years, creative moves have flourished, with players using toe drags, spinoramas, and deceptive pauses to fool goalies. But the goalie only has one job: stop the puck any way possible without breaking the crease rules. Power play and penalty kill. A power play happens when the other team takes a penalty and has to play shorthanded. Most penalties are 2 minutes, but majors can give a 5-minute advantage. The penalized team plays with fewer skaters, and they can't replace that player until the penalty ends. If the shorthanded team scores, the penalty continues in the case of a major, but ends immediately for a minor. This keeps minor penalties from becoming a 2-goal punishment. On the other side, the penalty kill is all about blocking shots, clearing the puck, and forcing time to tick away. Coaches design specific PK strategies, often with aggressive forechecking to disrupt the setup before it starts. And that wraps up part 1 of the NHL rulebook. Crazy, right? But trust me, the next set of rules gets even more interesting. Before we dive in, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss a second of part 2, which is coming up next. Part 2. Major penalties. Not all penalties are created equal. A major penalty is 5 minutes long, and the penalized team stays shorthanded the entire time, no matter how many goals are scored against them. Majors are given for dangerous plays, boarding, fighting, intent to injure, or using the stick as a weapon. In recent seasons, referees have been encouraged to call majors immediately if a hit appears severe, then review the play on video to confirm. This protects players while allowing the officials to adjust the call if necessary. Match penalties. A match penalty is the NHL's way of saying, you're done for the night. It's assessed for deliberate attempts to injure an opponent or other serious misconduct. The player is ejected, and the team serves a 5-minute penalty, just like a major. But unlike a major, a match penalty comes with an automatic review by the league's Department of Player Safety, and usually more punishment follows. Hand pass rule. Hockey allows a lot of body and stick creativity, but your hand is mostly off limits for passing. You can bat the puck out of the air to yourself anywhere on the ice. You can also hand pass in your own defensive zone to a teammate, but in the offensive zone, a hand pass stops play immediately. The most controversial example came in the 2019 playoffs when San Jose's overtime goal against St. Louis was missed by officials because of a clear hand pass. That moment sparked calls for expanded replay, but the league ultimately decided against making hand passes reviewable. Puck in the netting. When the puck flies over the glass and into the protective netting, play stops immediately. This can happen from deflections, blocked shots, or clearing attempts. Unlike the puck over glass penalty in the defensive zone, there's no penalty here. It's just a whistle and a face-off in the nearest neutral zone spot. Kicked goals. Players can use their skates to deflect the puck into the net, but there's one big restriction. You can't score with a distinct kicking motion. If the puck deflects off your skate while you're turning or stopping, it can count. But if you actively swing your leg toward the net, even slightly, it's no goal. This rule exists to prevent dangerous situations where players might swing their skates at high speed near the goalie or other skaters. The league has spent years clarifying what counts as a kicking motion because so many borderline goals have gone to video review. Crease violations. The goalie's crease is their office, and you don't get to barge in without consequences. Players can't make illegal contact with the goalie while they're in the crease, and they can't impede their movement when they're trying to make a save. If contact is made while a goal is scored, officials will review the play to see if it was enough to affect the goalie's ability to stop the puck. Since 2017, coaches have been able to challenge these plays, but failed challenges result in a penalty, a rule meant to prevent fishing for lucky reversals. Too many men on the ice. Line changes happen on the fly, but there's a limit. 6 skaters per team, including the goalie. If a team has more, even for a moment, it's a penalty. This can happen if a player jumps into the play before their teammate has reached the bench, or if confusion during a shift change leads to an extra body staying out too long. It's one of the most avoidable penalties, but also one of the most frustrating because it's almost always self-inflicted. Coaches hate it because it means someone wasn't paying attention. Equipment violations. Not every rule is about how you handle the puck. Players must wear certain equipment, helmets, mouth guards, protective gear, and it has to meet league standards. If a goalie's mask comes off during play, the whistle blows immediately for safety reasons. Players can also get penalties for using illegal equipment, like a broken stick. If your stick breaks, you must drop it instantly. Keep playing with it, and it's a penalty. This keeps shattered sticks from becoming hazards on the ice. Goaltender playing the puck restrictions. Goalies can roam to play the puck, but since 2005, they've been limited by the trapezoid behind the net. They can handle the puck inside that trapezoid and in front of their net, but not in the corners. If they play it outside those areas, it's a penalty. This rule was introduced to encourage more offensive forechecking by limiting goalies' ability to act as third defensemen in the corners. Broken glass and delays. If a hard shot or hit shatters the glass around the rink, play stops until it's replaced. This can take several minutes, and in rare cases, the delay can change a game's momentum. While it's not a penalty, it's part of the NHL's safety-first approach. No game resumes until the boards and glass are fully secure. Unusual. Game stoppages. There are a few rare rules most fans never see in action. If a puck gets lodged in a player's clothing or equipment, the whistle blows immediately. If a goal frame comes off its pegs during an active scoring chance, officials can award a goal if they believe the puck would have gone in. These rules cover the weird moments that pop up in a game built on speed and chaos. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand the NHL rulebook better, show some love with a like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment on which rule surprised you the most. Stick around, there's plenty more hockey content coming your way.